Chapter 5, where we continue with, wow, everybody in this world is super, super shitty to poor Michael Armstrong, except for his mother and his sickly brother. So, God damn it. Um, so Sir Matthew writes a anonymous letter extolling how great of a guy Sir Matthew Dowling is and how generous he is and how wonderful he is and how he's taken this indigent factory boy into his thing because he's, it's like it's actually somebody who's worth charity, and decries how all factory owners are unfairly castigated because they're accused of overworking all these poor people who cluster around their factories. Yet there's all this great big decrying stuff when they don't have enough money because they're not getting paid enough money because they're getting exploited by Sir Matthew Dowling and his ilk. So yeah, he sends off that. He inquires where the heck this foul little beggar is. No warmth or anything like that. And it's like he's supposed to have been taken to the servants' hall. At which point Peggy, the saucy housemaid, who is ugly because they don't allow any good-looking housemaids into the employ. The implication being that any good-looking housemaids would probably immediately get sexually assaulted by their masters. Well, they probably wouldn't put it like that. They would probably put it as behave improperly with the lords and gentlemen who have all the power over them, and that would use their power to sexually assault them. But she's ugly. We're informed. Because Lady Dowling isn't going to let anyone good looking in to the service. So yes, which is it's interesting that you combine that with what Miss Thompson has said about that Michael must be a bastard son of Sir Matthew, because why else would they have charity? Because that's a common thing of all these mysterious little bastards showing up probably from housemaids and stuff like that. The result of sexual assaults and stuff like that. That's just that interesting little undercurrent in there that Frances Trollope just seems to like. This is a part of that world. I mean, she's painting a really shitty world, and she lets him know that Miss Thompson wouldn't have anything to do with him, and it's like, oh, well, we're going to do something about that. And she's like, go find Michael, or she actually finds him comes him back in. They dress him up in Mr. Duodecimal's clothing. I guess that's the finest, the suits that they can find. I don't know if Duodecimo is just another servant or is one of the children or something like that. They get the things. He very roughly just kind of clothes him, wanting to be a joke, but actually finding that once he's actually dressed up, actually there's no incongruity. Michael is a good looking young guy, even if he is starved. But though the Peggy makes sure she knows where butter is bred, she laughs at it like, oh, what a quiz, what a it's like it's how silly it looks. It doesn't actually look silly. And indeed he instructs her to take him off to Miss Thompson, who's sitting around with Mr. Jennings, the butler, and another lady. And they, when they see him, immediately think, oh shit, it is actually one of the upper class. Mr. Jennings like, oh crap, I've been caught with like drinking claret by a visitor. And they're all like, oh, I'm supposed to sit him right next to you, Mrs. Thompson. You can give him something nice. And she's like doing that. And Michael's like having nothing to do with this. He takes off his hat. It's like, I'm Michael Armstrong. Michael Armstrong, the factory boy. And she's like, what? What kind of horrible joke is this? This is what this is what the master told me to do. And I'm gonna take him up. I'm gonna take him. And Michael's like, I'm gonna take him up to show him off amongst the children. And Michael's just like, I just want to go home. Can I have my clothes back? I don't want to get laughed at by the kids, because that's what's gonna happen next. He's afraid because everyone is shitty in this world. The only ones that we've had actually were nice were that cook and that the other kind of housemaid, which I don't believe was Peggy, who is definitely, well, oh yeah, because Peggy went off with Miss Thompson when she marched all the other servants off because she feels that Michael must be a kind of product of sin and is something that should not contaminate them. So they, yeah, takes them off. But yeah, wow, we're continuing with really, really shitty world. I'm assuming at some point we're going to get the great, for better lack of the better word, the great white savior, somebody who is going to be the kind person who's going to help Michael in his thing. But so far, we're just surrounded by all the crappy, crappy people who just all consider him dirt, him just below dirt. He's, what does he call him? I think he calls him vermin. I think at a certain point that that you know Sir Matthew calls him. Where's that? You know, Master Duodecimus. I'm not quite sure who Duodecimus is. I'll have to think. He makes, you know, there's a funny thing like there where he's like he looks at the guy where Sir Matthew looks at him, and suddenly he even makes confiding Peggy start, and he says, "You horrid lump of rags, stand back, back, behind that high chair. Do you hear? Stand close and stand still. If he does not make me sick as a dog, Peggy, never let me smell musk more." He does smell horrid. And they're like, "Oh, should we scour him?" It's like, and he's like, hadn't I been taking him? Thing? No, hang him. You won't take it out of him. I know them all. No, Peggy, let the scouring alone. Just go upstairs and get some clothes. Um, for a joke, and it's like, yeah, he's a ragamuffin. He's Yeah, where is that little factory vermin is how he refers to Michael when he wants to see him. Where's that factory vermin, which is definitely, yeah, vermin is how this factory owner uh, regards the children that he enslaves for his wealth in this book. So it's not what you would call a sunny picture of the early Industrial Revolution England. And I guess this is probably pre Dickens. I think that as industrial novels goes, this is probably pre Dickens. So, and we have a child, so Victorian sentimentality about children is a part of the thing that is actually going to be harnessed. Saccharine and is as it is going to get hopefully harnessed to make things better, marginally better, for children. All right, I will leave it there. More videos later.